Wisdom. This video is about the yoga value of wisdom. Yeah, so what is wisdom? And how do we get it? Do we have it? So in this video, I'm going to share 3 points on wisdom and how to tap into that inner wisdom that we all actually do have inside of us. And everything I share in this video, as with the other videos, is obviously, from my own insights and from some of the readings I do. But remember, if anything resonates with you, usually that's a sign that you already know this stuff. So whatever I share, you can take it or leave it and just see if it resonates. So the first point is that we all have within us a place of wisdom, harmony, and strength. We all have that. It's just sometimes we veer away from that, and sometimes the rush of life, it can shadow our perspective, and we kind of lose touch with that place of deep inner wisdom. So just to give a quick definition, in cognitive behavioral therapy, it defines the wise mind alongside 3 types of mind. So they talk about the feeling mind, the wise mind, and the thinking mind. So, we all know someone who, or maybe we're that person who can sometimes get into our thinking mind too much, or, academics who really like to know everything, and, or maybe you have someone in your family, or maybe you're that person who always wants to be right. So this is, what it means to be a bit too much in the thinking mind. And then the feeling mind is sometimes when we, when we operate too much from our feelings. And, sometimes feeling-based people are quite emotional. And, there's nothing wrong with either of these. It's just good to find balance. So the wise mind is this balance where we might notice our emotions and we might notice our thinking minds, but we start to find insight. We get insight into a situation or a self. It's also, the wise mind is where we are truth focused. There's that word again, truth, like living our truth. What is the actual truth here? Because sometimes we, get into our thinking mind and we make up stories. It's about understanding and being objective and reflective rather than subjective. So there's just some of the science, the CBT background of defining what is, the wise mind. And, we all know of a leader, perhaps, maybe in the news and politics or whatever, that has made terrible decisions. And perhaps they might be lacking, usually it is because they're lacking wisdom. So we all have this place within us of wisdom, harmony, and strength. That's the first one. The second point, it's hard to tap into our inner wisdom if we're always connected to our iPhones and our gadgets. It's so tricky in this world, isn't it, man? But all connecting and messenger and text or whatever. But we need to disconnect from our phones to reconnect with ourselves. This is how we find wisdom, being with ourselves. And this is tricky in the modern day context. So what I have found quite useful is having mini breaks, like just going away, even for an afternoon, turning my phone off, walking up. We've got the Rapaki track here in Christchurch. I'm very lucky. And, having mini breaks from social media. I think, even better 1 or 2 days if you can, but, taking it in baby steps. And so multitasking, this can also veer us away from our inner wisdom when we're, doing multiple things at once. And also being connected via social media is actually connecting to others in a shallow way. And we want to connect to others and to ourselves in a meaningful way. And so this is actually what it means to connect to our inner wisdom, is to take spaces and pause in our life and start to, when you go off for a walk and you have these little realizations on the way back. So it's quite a deep place within us that's there for us if we listen to it. So number 3, about wisdom, our ability to get back to this place of wisdom depends on how much we practice it. So that, like every value in this course that I have talked about and will talk about, we can practice getting better at cultivating them. That's why we talk about our inner strengths. And so we have this place of wisdom and harmony and strength within all of us, but we veer away from this truth again and again. So the key to cultivating wisdom is, how quickly can we get back to this place when we get off balance, when we feel overwhelmed? How quickly can we get back to this place of inner wisdom? And our ability depends on how much we practice it. So it's good to, have a routine and a practice of cultivating time for yourself, perhaps away from your phone, getting out in nature, and just being inspired by the world around you. And perhaps it means making boundaries and saying no to others so you can spend time, on your own and have rest, and perhaps you need recovery, and cultivating self-compassion and kindness to yourself. So this is a big topic too, wisdom. I want to attribute lots of the ideas in this little video to Arianna Huffington, her book on Thrive. If anyone's read it, it's one of my favorites. And so she talks about redefining the metrics of success. And one of the metrics she talks about is inner wisdom. So, beautiful book, Thrive, highly recommend it. Thank you very much for listening to this video. The 3 points, just to recap. We all have within us a place of wisdom, harmony, and strength. Number 2, it's hard to tap into our inner wisdom if we're always connected to gadgets and phones and computers and things. And number 3, our ability to get back to this place of wisdom depends on how much we practice it. So it's there for the taking. It's a skill we can get better at, like learning the guitar, cultivating space for wisdom. Thank you for sharing your precious time with me.